everybody, this is Carla with Cobweb Corner and welcome to FlossTube number 66. It is January 6th, 2022 and welcome to my FlossTube channel. This is a channel about cross stitch. I share my personal stitching, some of my other crafting that I do, and I also talk about my online cross stitch shop and share some inventory from there for you to see some of the new things or some different things to think about stitching. So welcome. It's been a few weeks, a few very busy weeks. For those of you who saw my last video, I let everybody know that my husband was going to have surgery for prostate cancer. And I have to say thank you for all of the well wishes, prayers. I got some cards, some personal messages from people wishing us well and letting us know that they were thinking of us and praying for us, and that really meant a lot. Thank you so much. The surgery was on December 27th and it went really well. He came home the next day. He was just in the hospital one night and had a couple of rough, really only like 1.5 rough days. The day of the surgery, the next day, and then a little bit into Wednesday, and then he just started to feel quite a bit better, and he's doing really well. He's getting stronger. It's going to be, a few weeks or so or a couple months before he really starts to feel back to normal, but it went well. And the most important thing is the pathology report that came back from the tissue samples that were removed during surgery were clear. So there was no indication that the cancer had spread. So that was pretty much all we could have hoped for. And we're really happy about that and excited to get him healed and get on with his retirement. So I'll keep you updated if anything changes, but right now we're on the path to recovery and very relieved so far with everything that's happened. So thank you again. So because of that, we didn't do much for Christmas or New Year's. Christmas we wanted to isolate. We did go over and I went in and saw my mom and dad and gave them their gifts. And it actually was like 57 degrees on Christmas Day. So we had gotten my dad a light that goes on top of his flagpole. So my husband installed that and stayed outside. And then I went in for just about a half hour and said Merry Christmas to my folks and gave them their gifts. So other than that, we pretty much isolated. And of course, New Year's Eve, he had just gotten done with surgery. So we, I think we were in bed by 9:30 or so on New Year's Eve. But I'm glad to stay home and be with him and stay away from COVID too. So anyway, it's going good. We're really happy so far. I've got quite a bit to show you. I had subscribed to the Black Needle Society boxes, and I got my first one in November, and it was a resolution box for New Year's, and it came with a planner. So I decided to embrace that, and the day before New Year's Day, I started looking and filling it out. The planner has all kinds of things in it. It's got some stitching challenges in it. So for example, start a pattern released in 2022. That shouldn't be too hard. Finish your oldest whip. Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. Stitch on a gift. Yeah, I can do that. Start a pattern from retreat in a box. I'll have to see what the patterns are. Fully finish a favorite project. I think I can do that. Stitch on a full coverage piece, probably will not do that one. Stitch on a project in your favorite color, I can do that. Stitch on a project with hand-dyed floss, that one's easy, I'm already doing that. Stitch on a project on your birthday, I can hopefully do that. Stitch from a digital pattern, I don't usually buy digital patterns. In fact, I never have, but I do scan my patterns into PDF, and then I load the PDF into Goodreader, and then I can blow it up super big. I absolutely love stitching that way and looking at my charts that way. And I even figured out a way in Goodreader for a standard PDF to highlight what I've done. So I mean, I can take a little grid and blow it up huge and have it right next to me. So I don't know, I'm just going to count that as a digital pattern and stitch from a paper pattern, which is pretty much what all I do. Then it has goals. So for my goals, my current number of whips is only 4. And projects that are near finish is I'm working on Winter Notes by Shepherd's Bush, and I want to focus on, my focus project is going to be Garden Fair, which I'll show you. I did make some progress on that. Then what are my stitching goals? So my stitching goals this year are to rotate projects more often, stitch more, and fully finish some of the projects that I've already finished stitching. I have a box full of things that I think I've only fully finished 1 or 2 things. So I've got at least 8 things that I need to fully finish, and I want to do that. My personal goals for the year, I would like to have said exercise more and lose weight, but yeah, that never happens. So my personal goals are spending less time on my phone, playing games and stuff like that, and to get outside more. So instead of saying exercise, I just decided I want to try to just be outside more, and then maybe exercise will come from that. And then they give us this page. There's ink on there, sorry. I don't know what to do with that page. What are you supposed to do with that page? So I don't know. Then it has another stitching challenge. It has an A to Z stitching challenge that's basically stitch a pattern that starts with every letter of the alphabet. So I'm stitching on Bluebird of Happiness for the letter B by Cottage Garden Samplings, and Garden Fair for the letter G. And I'm going to show you Oh Feathers by Rosewood Manor. And then I'm stitching on Winter Notes by Shepherd's Bush. So I've got a lot of other letters in there. I don't know if all that'll get done. Then it has a place for stitching goals. And so far my stitching goals is I started Angel of Healing many years ago, probably 2005, around there, by Lavender and Lace. I've got quite a bit of it done, so my goal for that is to finish all of the stitching, not necessarily the beadwork, but to get the stitching done. And then my other goal is Oh Feathers by Rosewood Manor, to start and finish it, and then fully finish my Joyeux Noel by Blackbird Designs, which I've finished stitching, but I need to take it in and get it framed. And then that's only 3 goals. I'll add to that. Then it's got other things. It's just a really neat planner. And then for every month, it has these grids. And on the grids, you define a color and a goal. And I had a little bit of trouble with this because I'm like, it's room for 6 different colors. And on the other one, there's room for 9 different colors. So 9 different goals. And I'm like, I'm not sure what 6 different goals are. So for the one, this is a block per day. And I defined 1 to 250 stitches as being this kind of turquoise, and 250 to 500 stitches as being the purple. Whoops, sorry. Got to take that. That's my mom. I'm back. That was my mom, so she gets priority over my videos. I got to talk to her. So anyway, what I was saying was I don't know what goals to do. So right now I've got some stitching goals, and then this is 1 block per day. And for the yellow, I'm going to show you, I've been making scissor fobs. So if I made at least 1 scissor fob, I put that in. And then on this one, sorry, you mark for different projects that you're stitching on. And so far, I've just been only stitching on Oh Feathers, which I'm going to show you pretty soon. So on that one, I did 1 to 300 stitches is pink, and 300 to 500 stitches is green. So lots and lots of stuff in my planner. So I'm trying to stick with that and see how that goes. I did have a full finish. I made a new project bag. It is, let's see, I'm using this pattern right here, Project Bags 2.0 by Annie, and there's a link to this in my Amazon shop, and the link to my Amazon shop is down below. This is my third bag, and I have to say this was my worst. But it's really cute. So if you don't look at it too close, I've got these cute Christmas kitties, and then kind of a candy cane interior, and then the matching coordinating red. And it is full of cat hair, of course. I really like this pattern. I like the size. There's 3 sizes in the pattern book, or 4 sizes, and this is the large. There's also an extra large, and I love having the handle. So this is Bo. Bo's been wanting a lot of attention lately, and not quite sure why. But because of the handle, I don't know. I'm doing the binding the way you do a quilt binding, and I've watched some other videos that do it differently using the back material, but the way I have the handle, I can't do that. And my binding is so incredibly messy on this. It's embarrassing. I don't even want to show it to you guys, but I will. So you can see how my stitches are so crooked. I'm supposed to be stitching in the ditch there. I have a stitch in the ditch foot, but I just can't get it to stitch in the ditch. And I can't really, I need, because of the handle, this one I tried putting the binding on the front first and then flipping it over, but it kind of messes up the handle. So if you put the binding on the back first and then go over, you can't stitch by hand because you have to stitch into the vinyl. So you kind of have to use your machine. And I don't know, I'll just keep practicing. It's for my own personal use, and I love the fabric, and I absolutely love this pattern as far as utility. So so I got that done, worked on that. And then other fully finishes. I don't know, most of you may know that I used to make jewelry professionally. I started in 2003 and I quit about 3 years ago, and but I still have about 600 pieces of jewelry made that never sold, and I have thousands and thousands of jewelry making supplies, beads, crystals, all kinds of things. So since my last video, I started taking some of my jewelry apart and remaking it into scissor fobs, and I am really happy with them. So I made 4. Whoops, they're backwards here. This one's backwards. I made 4, and I'll show them to you. This one used to be just a simple necklace with this blown glass pendant on it with the little butterfly. And I took that apart, and then I had these beads, these green beads, which are just beautiful. I bought these when I lived in France, and inside are olive colored Swarovski crystals and then some brass accents. And I love this one. Now the idea of a scissor fob is that it should be heavier on the bottom, so that if you drop your scissors, the scissor fob hits first, rather than the point of the scissors. So you should have a little bit of heft to your fob. I've been looking at some other, so these are really, they're actually pretty high quality, and as far as materials that are used, and would be a little bit more expensive. I think I'll either put these in my auctions, my Facebook auctions, or I'll start listing them on my website. I want to get a few more made yet. But things you should look for when you buy a scissor fob as far as quality is you shouldn't see any exposed wire. So sometimes you'll see a scissor fob and it'll have a loop of stringing wire down here. There are ways to hide that so that you don't have exposed wire. Also, there's a crimp bead that you use to close off your wire and hold it. And you shouldn't see those crimp beads. So you use a crimp bead cover there so that you have just a nice piece of jewelry or finished product rather than seeing some of the things that are used, you know, like the wire and stuff like that. So that's that one. This one was also a necklace. Whoops, that's the back. Get that turned around. And those are also beads that I purchased in France. They're glass beads. And then these are a real light blue Swarovski crystal. And it's gonna turn on me. There we go. And I really like this one too. I think it's really delicate and pretty. And then this one was also a simple necklace. And this pendant I made by hand. I painted the background with a paint that adheres to metal. And then I took a scrapbooking stamp, kind of a steampunk scrapbooking stamp, and stamped that image on there. And then I punched a hole in it and added the clock hand, riveted in the clock hands. And then I added the little moon. So it's kind of like a steampunk time thing. The back is blank. And then I added the coordinating color beads. These are Picasso beads. And then the spacing beads are brass. So that is that one. And then the last one, this was a bracelet. I took the bracelet apart, and the bracelet was made with these beads here. And then I had this larger bead again for some weight. And I got that, and then I added these two little scissors and button charms. And then these are Swarovski crystals, and all of the silver, except for the charms, is sterling silver. And the lobster clasp is not sterling either, but these beads, spacer beads, are all sterling. So that is the 4 scissor fobs that I made, and I'm sorry getting those off camera, and I'm really, really happy with those. They keep going backwards, sorry. Keep turning them around here. So anyway, I'm going to give up on that. So let me know what you think about those. It's a great way for me to use up my some of my jewelry, take apart things that I don't think are ever going to sell, and they'll probably be listed for $12 or $15. Most of them with the sterling silver, and the different pendants cost me anywhere from $7 to $10 just in materials. So, but I just want to move some of that stuff. So also maybe watch for those on my auctions. Whips. So while surgery, so Paul's surgery lasted 5.5 hours, which we were surprised. We were expecting it to be maybe 2 hours. We got there at 5:30 in the morning. At 7, and I was able to go in. He was allowed to have 1 authorized visitor because of the type of surgery he was having, which I would have been crazy if I hadn't been able to to go into the hospital with him. They took him back at 7:30, and then I went to a lounge, and I had brought all of my stitching stuff, and I almost didn't bring it because I'm like, will I really, stitch? And I was so glad I did, because I stitched for at least 3 hours. And I got to see him then. Let's say took him back at 7:30, and then surgery was over about 12:45. And then I got to see him at 2:45 when they got out of recovery. So I stitched on Garden Fair while I was in the waiting room. And it doesn't look like I stitched for 3 hours, but I did. I finished this row here. So I had been this bottom red row. I did about maybe that much. And then I started the next row. So far I have that much done, a little over half. So I am right here on the pattern. So I only have 1, 2, 3 big bands made of multiple bands, and then I repeat the top. So I'm getting there. So this is just a stunning pattern. It's by Courtney Collection. It is available in my shop. and I just love it. I'm doing it in the called for silks, which you need a lot of them, so it gets a little pricey, but you could also just do it in red and black DMC. So I worked on that, and then for my New Year's Day start, I started Oh Feathers by Rosewood Manor. And this was a release in 2021, and I've had it in my want to start pile for quite a while. And I am using, for the first time, I'm using the Sulky Threads, and there is a Sulky Thread pack for this. Right now it is $11. I don't know if it's gone up in price. I'm going to talk about price increases in my business segment. So I think I have 3 of those left, and I'm continuing to try to keep this in stock. So if you want to stitch, it's absolutely gorgeous. Like I said, it's the first time I've stitched with Sulky Threads, and I love them. I'm stitching it on, the model says it was stitched on 32 count antique white linen, and I'm using 32 count white. Whoops, that's upside down, sorry. And I'm doing it on Jobelin, so it's an even weave. But look at those colors. It is so fun to stitch. I have stitched on it every day, so I've stitched on it 5 days so far, and I think I have maybe 1700 stitches done. And it's really, really fun. It's going to be big, you can see that. So I've just got one of these circles done and part of another one, and one of these done and part of another one. So there's a total of 5 circles across, and that's one of the circles. So I love this. I absolutely love this pattern. So I did that. So actually, I've been pretty crafty lately. And then the other thing I've been doing is I hardly ever read. I used to be an avid reader, and I hardly ever read a book anymore because I feel like I should be either working or stitching. But I've been listening to books on tape, and I'm just about done with Dune. But my daughter got me, I am a huge Lord of the Rings fan. And for Christmas, my daughter got me all 3 books in French. And I started reading them, reading the first one. They're illustrated. I absolutely love them. She said she tried to find them in hardcover, but they were extremely expensive. So it's called Les Seigneurs des Anneaux, Les Seigneurs des Anneaux, Lord of the Rings. And this is the first one. And I'm actually surprised at how much I understand. I use an app called Say Hi, and that's the one I recommend for translating and practicing your pronunciation. It's a really good app for practicing your pronunciation. So I have that on my phone, and as I'm reading, I look up words occasionally. But I have read the books in English at least probably 14 times. Not for a long time. I haven't read them for a long time, but I started reading them maybe in 8th grade, and would read them at least once a year for many years. And so I know the story almost by heart and can figure out what the words, what is being said. And then if there's a word that's stumping me, then I look it up. So I'm having a lot of fun with that. It's nice to sit down with a book in my hands. So that's it for my personal crafting. So giveaway, last week's giveaway, or last video's giveaway, I had 4. The first one was Hello Summer by Plum Street Samplers, and there 38 people wanted that. You had to use the word summer, and Mary Avaux, Avaux, won that. And I have contacted the winners. But if you're watching this, my email is down below. Email me, put FlossTube winner in the subject line, and tell me what you won, because I get a lot of emails. I have a lot of different giveaways, and sometimes I don't know what everybody won. Then I gave away a piece of fabric by Jody, and You had to use the word fabric. 54 people wanted the fabric, and Kelly Hale won. So Kelly, you can email me. Then we gave away Joyful Scene by Trishia Ct, and you had to use the word joyful. 44 people wanted this chart, and Rain Jude won this one. So again, you can contact me. And the last one was Santa by Mirabilia, and you had to use the word Santa. And 44 people wanted this one, and the winner was Karen Krasner. So congrats to everybody. Thanks for watching. I'll be showing you my next giveaway in a little bit. Wanted to let you guys know about an upcoming SAL, not through me, but through Sambry Stitches and finally a Farm Girl. And I will put the link to their FlossTube channels down below, but on January 12th, they're going to start Gingerbread Grove by Glendon Place. And I have, in working with them, that if you want to stitch along with them and you want to buy the pattern, you can go to one of their sites, either their FlossTube channels or their Instagram accounts, and they will post a coupon code that you can use to get an additional 10% off this chart on my site. So it's a really cute chart, and I'm pretty sure they said they're going to start stitching, and it's going to be a year-long SAL, so it's not any big hurry. So if you want to stitch along with them, you can get the coupon code from them and shop on my site. If it happens to be out of stock, I will continually be restocking that. Just add yourself to the waiting list, and you'll be notified when it's back in stock. So the business section for this time, first of all, my year-end sales. So I've done this last couple of years, that starting about December 1st, I start having huge discounts on multiple designers. So 30% off retail. My sales this year, I was like, thank you everybody, because it went really, really well. I currently have about 500 charts on my store that are out of stock. I have a huge order in with Hoffman that is supposed to get delivered tomorrow if it gets here on time, and we'll be restocking at least a couple hundred of those, and then I'll put in another order. I started getting my restock order. I'm like, I gotta quit. I gotta make sure my credit card can handle this. And also what I'm doing is I'm trying to whittle down the number of items that are in my inventory, because the way I do it is I only sell what I currently have in stock. So unless there's a mistake on my inventory on my part, if it says it's in stock, I have it and I'm ready to ship it out. And that's the way I prefer to work, because you just never know when you're going to be able to get something back in stock or not. And I don't want people to have to wait. I want to be able to ship within one business day. But there's a lot of stuff that's been in my inventory for many, many, many years and hasn't sold. And so now, as I'm going through what's out of stock, unless I know it's a really, really good seller, I'm going in and looking at the sales history. And so let's say I bought a chart in 2016, and it only sold this year in 2021, December of 2021, at 30% off retail. I probably don't want to restock that chart, because it only, it was not a big seller. So I'm going to start going through, being much more careful about what I have in stock and what I reorder. That being said, if there's ever something that's not on my site that you would like me to get in that I can still order, I order from Hoffman, Witchell, Dinky Dyes, Yarn Tree, Trishia Ct. There's a couple other designers that Glendon Place, I ordered directly from her. So I'm putting in orders all the time. So if there's something that you want that's not on my site and you want to get reward points for purchasing it or whatever, let me know and I will try to include it in my next order. The other thing I want to talk about is price increases. So there's a lot, everywhere things are going up in price. And that is very true in the cross stitch world too. Some things you should be aware of are Classic Colorworks thread has increased their cotton thread. I don't do their pearl cottons, or the I don't know if it's pearl cotton or wool or what. I only do the cotton 6-strand thread, but that has gone up from $2.50 a skein to $2.60 a skein. So you'll start to see that trickle down as people, as different shops are restocking their Classic Colorworks. I will probably wait until maybe February 1st before I increase my price. I am restocking already at the $2.60 price point. But right now my Classic Colorworks is still $2.50. The other thing that's gone up pretty significantly is Kreinik braid. For example, I don't carry the whole line of Kreinik, but I try to carry Kreinik for some popular charts, especially some Mirabilia. The number 4 10-meter spool used to retail for $3.60, and now, or this is the number 8 spool, the number 8 braid. Used to retail for $3.60. It's now $4.10, and that's a big increase. That's almost 25%. And the number 4 went from $3.40 a spool to $3.70 a spool. So not only are the individual, what we see that reflected in the individual spool prices, but all of the embellishment packs that include Kreinik have gone up. So my Mirabilia packs, the embellishment packs from Glendon Plays, anything that has Kreinik in, and also Mill Hill Beads has increased their prices a little bit. So you'll start to see that those prices of those embellishment packs go up as they're restocked. So you might want to consider getting in. Some of them have gone up, as much as $2 or $3 a pack, depending on what's in them. So keep that in mind, that those are coming your way. Yay. New giveaway. I've got 4 charts to give away. They are all pre-owned, in good condition, and the first one looks to be pretty much brand new. I didn't open it to see if there's any writing or anything, but it is a Mystic Stitch, and it's called Tropical Balcony. And if you want to win that one, use the word tropical. And if you can't think of a sentence, just type tropical. The next one is a 2001 Santa. I don't think I can order these anymore, but this one got damaged. It got stuck onto a manila envelope as I was getting ready to ship it a long time ago, and it does not affect the pattern. You can very easily, I probably shouldn't be showing that. You can very easily, sorry, anybody, don't get mad at me. I wanted to show the damage. So it is a little bit damaged, but it's very readable. And if you want this one, use the word Santa. The next one is a Pattern of the Month series from Stony Creek. It is Give from Your Heart. And use the word heart, H-E-A-R-T. And the last one, this one does have some writing on it, and is worn a little bit. So the previous owner has 2 little lines that are highlighted in yellow, but that's it on the pattern. And then underneath the pattern in pencil, she rewrote the symbols and the numbers so that they would all be on one page for her. And then there is a little bit of wrinkle here, but this one is called Find a Song. It says, those who wish to sing always find a song. And if you want to stitch that one, use the word song. So the winners of those will be announced in my next video. Okay, all I have left is new inventory, and I have a lot to show you guys. Some I'll try to go through quickly. I purchased kind of late to the game here. a big number of Erica Michaels strawberries. And I've got a couple more I need to order yet, but Helen D, who has a wonderful FlossTube channel, is going to be stitching the 4 seasonal berries: winter, summertime, spring, and autumn. And she's going to announce it. I don't think she's announced it yet, and it's not a stitch along. It's just that she's going to be stitching. She also, if you go to her channel and click on playlists, she has a playlist of all of her tutorials, and she has a tutorial on how to finish the strawberries. But I'm working with her to have the 4 seasonal strawberries in stock, along with the mini pin sets that go with them, from Just Another Button Company, and I'm in the process of getting those ordered. So she will be offering a discount code that you can use for the charts in my shop. So if you're interested in those, go to her channel, start watching her, subscribe to her channel, and she will announce that within the next couple weeks, I think. So I've got Honeyberry, Bristol Berries number 2, Yikes Berry. That one's really cute, and I love that fabric. Holiday Home Berries. And most of these are what the designer Linda Stoltz is calling partner berries. So they were, is this one a partner? This one's not a partner berry. This one is, though. So it was originally released as 2 separate charts, one for silk and one for linen. And now she's releasing them together. So like the one, I think the silk ones used to include the silk gauze. So now she's releasing them together without the silk gauze. And they're similar patterns, but they're not identical. And of course, you don't have to stitch on silk. You can stitch them on whatever you want. So we got Holiday Home. We have Jingleberry. Those are really cute. Sweet Freedom Berry. Nativity Berry. And then by Little House Needleworks, I have Heart of America. And I don't know that I have it set up yet on my website, but I will soon. I also have the Just Another Button Company buttons for this chart. Okay. Then I've got some Bent Creek, some other things. This is Patriotic Row by Bent Creek. Tudor Rose Biscornu by Heartstring Samplery. Isn't that beautiful? Christmas Wishes by Primrose Cottage Stitches. It says Gingerbread Kisses and Christmas Wishes. Ebenezer's Blessing by Erica Michaels. This is both it's actually 4 designs. You get the 2 shown here, the little sampler and the berry, and then it has these also, sampler and berry. And Deck the Halls. This is from the Caroling Berries by Erica Michaels. By Twin Peak Primitives, it's Christmas Morning in Santa's Kitchen. Love that. You got the elf under the table. They're having their morning cup of coffee, and look at that fire going in the fireplace. It's so, I love their charts. Let It Snow Flurries by Bent Creek. And then by Core, Ebati Core, a hammock for 2. Ama e Natal. I think it's Love Christmas. And springtime album. And Rose Sampler. And flower, Friendship Flower, or Flowers for Friendship And whenever there's sayings on the Cuore I Bati Cuore, they're almost always charted in English, French, and Italian, and sometimes German. So they'll often be shown in Italian. This one is shown in Italian, but it's also charted in English and French. The Ugly Duckling. And it says, even an ugly duckling can become a swan. And then I like this one. This is Mountain Vacation Christmas. So those are by Cuore I Bati Cuore. And some of the designs by Cuore I Bati Cuore are getting hard to find. I think it's shipping problems from Italy. I'm not sure, but like I wanted to restock Ottoman quilt, and that's no longer, couldn't find that anywhere. So you might want to snatch those. I don't know that they will always be not available, but some are starting to get hard to find. I've got Burberry, that's so cute, by Erica Michaels. Christmas Berry. Joy to the World by Primrose Cottage Stitches. And that is part of the Lindsay Stamps series. Sampler Berry. Scary Berry, this one's cute. Look at the witch and the moon. Holly Berry. Spring Berries. This will be one that Helen D will be stitching on, and that you can get a coupon code for through her. Peacock Party Berry, sorry. Silent Night from the Caroling Berries. And I also stocked a bunch of beautiful Rosewood Manor charts. I just absolutely love this one. This one's called "And a Forest Grew." And out of the ground made the Lord God to grow every tree that is pleasant to the sight and good food, the tree of life also in the midst of the garden, and the tree of knowledge of good and evil. Look at that chart. Isn't that amazing? And there's another one similar with trees. But look at all the trees, and then that beautiful tree in the center. So that's called "And a Forest Grew." And then there's "And a Garden Grew," and it says, flowers are the sweetest things God ever made and forgot to put a soul into. And what's fun about, I don't have a pen, but what's fun about this one is there's some cute little things, like there's a fox and there's a badger right here. That was really funny to see a badger. Then there's some birds and of course all the different flowers. These have long floss requirements, but fun. That's called "And a Garden Grew." Then I got "Joyful Summer." I really like this. I love the bright colors, by Country Cottage Needleworks. And by Luhu Stitches, I got "Every Heart Beats True." And from La Di Da, Little Brick House. And then here's the other tree. This is called "Seasons of Trees" by Rosewood Manor. And look at that. I just think that's amazing. She says, "Spring and summer are my favorite seasons, but the blazing autumn colors are amazing too. And who doesn't love the first snow of winter? The sampler is a tribute to Mother Nature and her seasonal variations." I like that so much. I got 4 of those. And Morning Glory sampler. It says, "Don't judge each day by the harvest you reap, but by the seeds you plant." That's by Rosewood Manor. All right. Then from Cottage Garden Samplings, I got Christmas Eve, number 12 in the Time for All Seasons series. Look at the bag on the Santa's back with that poinsettia, and then the red cardinal and his robe, the decorations on his robe with the reindeer is so cool. And then I really like how she did the white trees to be snow covered. It's really cool. Cozy Christmas Cat by the Blue Flower. Look at the snowman on the cat sweater. That is so cute. Summertime Berries. This is another one in the seasonal berries that Helen D will be stitching this year. This chart is just amazing. This is ABC Tapestry by Rosewood Manor, and it has 28 blocks. Yep, 7 rows of 4 each. And so it's got a decorative block here and a decorative block here. And then it has a separate block for every letter of the alphabet. And each block repeats the letter over and over and over. Try to get it up where you can see. And then it has at least 3 motifs for every letter. So like, for example, sorry, where'd it go? F has a flag, a fox, a fish, and something else that I don't know what it is. G has a goose, a gift, grapes, and a grasshopper. Where's G? Right there. U has a unicorn, an umbrella, and an urn. So I just think that is amazing. And I don't know how many skeins it said it would take. I don't think it does say. But if you do, you could also do each block individually. So each block is, let's see, the entire tapestry is 290 by 690. And each block is 70 by 90. So I just think that's amazing. It's called ABC Tapestry. Then I got Owlsmore Cottage by Rosewood Manor. And look at those owls. And then look at this little framed flowers down here. Isn't that cool? And this tree. I just like, oh, it's so cool. That's Owlsmore Cottage. Garden Paradise. Look at the colors in that. I mean, Karen Kluba is just amazing. It says, what is paradise but a garden? Garden orchard of trees and herbs, full of pleasure and nothing there but delights. That bouquet of flowers is just amazing. Then Welcome to My Village, 3rd in a series. Dreaming of Fuchsia. She has a whole series of dreaming charts, all different flowers. Autumn Quakers, again by Rosewood Manor. And then this is another one, a favorite. This is Persian lace. It's all done in one color, and it's a mix of back stitches and cross stitches to give it the different shading. But isn't that gorgeous? This was stitched in DMC 3768, and it took 6 skeins. And it's called Persian Lace. That's just gorgeous. She is just an amazing designer. Also by Rosewood Manor is On Target. This was new in 2020. Then by Glendon Place, part of the Baroque Beauties collection, Isabel. And I do have an embellishment pack available for that. And in the Baroque Beauties series is Millicent. And there's an embellishment pack for that too. Getting down to the bottom. This one I love. This is Santa Claus Montgolfier, which is Santa Claus in an air balloon. Look at that. Look at the reindeer. This is by Corey Battycore. And look at the reindeer hanging by balloons. And then Santa in that amazing hot air balloon. It's so clever and so cute. And by Serenita di Campagna is Adobe di Halloween. Look at this little witch. I love that. And also by Serenita di Campagna is La Prima Nevicata. And I'm trying to think, the first snow, I think that is. And Colors of the Seasons, also by Serenita di Campagna. Okay. Last ones. La Mia Festa Preferita, my favorite holiday. Christmas by Corey Battycore. And Hungarian Rhapsody by Corey Battycore. And, oh, we already did that one. By Rosewood Manor, Quilt on Pumpkins. And did that one. And then the last one is Summerhill by Rosewood Manor. So that is it. I've got a lot more to add. And like I said, if you've been shopping and if you're watching this right away after I post it, there are a lot of things out of stock on my site, but that'll be changing soon. Hopefully Friday I'll get my order from Hoffman in. So lots of fun things to share. Thanks everybody for making 2021 a fabulous year. I really appreciate it. Happy stitching, everybody.